So at this time you should be on your color change. I went ahead and did 8 rows of double crochet, and now what I'd like to do is just a stripe of this cream color. This one is called Off-White, and I just pulled out the yarn a little here just so that a lot of it will be there for me. Alright, so when you're at almost your last stitch, I just have a couple more here of double crochet. I like to do a pretty tight stitch. Okay, when you're at your last, if you're doing double crochet, the last double crochet, you want to go through the loop, pull your yarn, 3 loops on your hook. So pull through the first 2, and then when you have those 2 loops, you're actually at this time gonna pick up your next color and leave a good tail on it. You're going to take both of those colors, yarn over, and pull them both through your loops, and that will start you on the next row for the color change. So once you've done that and you're up on the next row, you're going to leave the tail part and just take the new color. So you're going to continue, and to continue up to the next row, you're going to do your chain of 3. So 1, 2, 3. Turn your work around, and then you're going to start with whatever stitch you're doing. So in this case, it's going to be the double crochet. So at this point, your tails are both here. You're going to just pull them tight. And what I like to do is a good sized tail. Take some scissors and clip the first color. Let's put that to the side. And as you have the second color, what I like to do is just pull this out a little so that I have a good loop and I won't lose it. And what I like to do, you can pull these, what we're going to do is pull these through and lay them on top of these V's so that as you stitch, you're going to stitch over them. But if you want it to be a little more secure, you can take these 2 tails and go ahead and tie a knot. And we're going to do a rather tight knot. So there's going to be a little knot there, but you're not going to be able to see it. And then what I like to do is go through these loops here, any loops you'd like, pull those around and pull them through. And this will pull those tails up between those rows. And as you turn your work around, you're going to lay these colors right there on top of the V. So remember, you have your color change. We did the chain of 3. Then you're going to turn your work around, and we're just going to double crochet over those tails. So yarn over, you're going to go through the first loop, pick up your new color, and just keep those tails laid. Pull through 2. Put the new color and pull through the last 2 loops. And as you stitch, those tails are just going to lay in there. You're going to stitch them into your work. So let's continue through. It's a little hard to manage at first, but once you get used to it, you'll be fine. And you just want to keep those tails on top. And I kind of like to keep the first color there and the second color above it, so that way if you can see them through, it's not going to show up much. And really what you're doing is you're weaving them in. I mean, you would have a tail anyway. You would have to weave it in to your work anyway. So you might as well do it now while you have them. Okay, so go ahead and do your next row, and I'll show you at the end what you're going to do. These tails are just going to be woven in, and then if anything is sticking out, we'll just clip that at that time. So what I'm going to do is 2 more rows of double crochet to give a stripe in the second color, and then we'll continue on. But this is going to show you your color change, and I'll do 1 more. Alright, so I did 2 more rows of the double crochet in the second color, and what you want to do, I'm almost on my last stitch, I have 1 more, but you want to just pull it. So we did that color change, you can sort of see it running through, and if you look carefully you can see where that tail is right here. I'm going to make that loop big, and that way I can pull this up here for you. You can see where that tail is. Sometimes it sticks out like that, so you want to just pull it a little. There you go. And take some scissors and just clip off the little ends. And then on the other side you might see the other part of the tail kind of peeking through. I mean, if you want to just pull it a little, you can, and you can just clip off whatever might be sticking out, so that way it just looks better on both sides. All right, so we're right here on the end, and we can do another color change here. I'm on the last stitch, and this was the one that we pulled real tight, so you can sort of see that's the chain of 3 there, and that is the first stitch. So we do need 1 more stitch here. We're just going to yarn over and wiggle the hook through so we can make that last stitch. Okay, so on the last stitch, oops, we did the second part. So we're going to go ahead and take out that last part. Almost forgot. Pull your yarn through, and then 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and the last 2 we're going to do the color change. So if you're going to stick with 2 colors, pick up your first color. I'm going to go ahead and add a 3rd color here. So you want a good tail, and you want to just put both of them on your hook, and you're going to yarn over with both. Going to go ahead and pull those through your loops, and you have both of them on your hook still. Then you're going to drop the tails, pick up the new color, and do your chain of 3. So 1, pulling it a little tight, 2. I do tend to make my stitches real tight. I just like a tighter stitch. So again, you're going to pull these tails down so that they're tight. And what I like to do is take both of the tails, make a little knot. You could do a double knot if you want it to be very secure, but just tie that so that they're not coming out. And then again, just like the last time, you're going to put them through your stitch somewhere. You can run them through This is my own personal way. I have seen at least 3 or 4 different ways that people do it. But again, in crochet, you just want to be consistent. So go ahead and I like to pull them through those loops. We never clip that tail. Oops. Of that first color. And we're just going to pull them up. I like to pull them up so it's easier to just lay them here. As you turn your work over, you're going to lay them on your work, and I like to try to lay the bottom color on the bottom and the top color on the top, so that if you do see them coming through in some way, it's not going to be very much. So you have your tails just laying on the top, and you're going to continue with double crochet. That's what I'm doing on this scarf. So we're going to double crochet or just crochet whatever stitch you're doing on top of those tails, and just take your time. Do it right the first time. You don't want crochet to be anything to stress you out about. You just want to relax as you're doing it and take your time. Okay, so you get the idea, and you just want to go ahead and finish out your new color, at least finish to the other side, and I'll meet you on the other side. We'll clip those tails. So I went ahead and stopped halfway because you can see that's where the tails are, and as you're crocheting above those tails, I like to pull them a little tighter so it pulls the right side. So another way you can do it is, if you want to clip the tails before you finish off, you can just go ahead and pull them tight and then clip them here, and then pull your work. So that's going to pull them through. You don't see them there. It's pretty clean. And if you see anything sticking out, you can just clip that. And then I'm going to continue with my scarf halfway, but that's it for the color changing, and that gives you a few ideas of how you can do it. You can find your own way. If you'd like to put some double knots when you do the color change, you can do that. As long as you're consistent, your scarf will be consistent, or whatever your project is that you're making will be consistent. And you just want everything to look the same throughout your project. So if you'd like to, and you'd like this video and you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Also, I'm going to finish up this scarf, and I'm going to put it on another video because I'm going to make this into an infinity scarf. So if you'd like to watch out for that video, I'd really love that. Thanks for watching. See you soon.